Hello there, everyone! My name is Oversoul, this is Oversoul Gaming, and welcome back to Danganronpa. We're about to go into the 5th out of 6 total class trials. And in this one, we need to figure out who the body in the garden was, because clearly it wasn't Kyoko, since she's still here. There's a lot going on in this one. This is going to be one of the shorter trials, but at one point we'll have to make a choice, and making the wrong or the non-canonical choice leads to a premature alternate ending, which I do want you to see, so I will show it to you, but it's not canonical, so after that ending, it'll end up rewinding us back to that choice, and then we'll make the right choice and continue the story the way it's supposed to be. But, anyways, let's do this.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko! There's no other explanation!
She's literally right here.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
You idiot.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because... she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
Okay, come on, man.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
Well, that won't be
then
too
let's
hard.
compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Oh shit, I dropped my controller. Gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
No.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars
Oh, yeah.
on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
That's true.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
But the clothes didn't.
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Oh my god, this idiot. He's already derailing this case. There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... Yup. Fake nails is the reason why that body can't wear gloves.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is
Fuck.
absolutely Kyoko.
Missed it.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I agree.
That Kyoko. Okay, then prove
The dead body wasn't wearing...
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing...
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely
Shit, I
This
forgot how to
entire
slow
discussion
time
is
down.
idiotic.
How do I slow time down again?
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Oh, it's
Okay,
R1.
then
Okay.
prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah,
She must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
Got it.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain.
Probably.
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
No, you're just an idiot.
Anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
There you are.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Yeah, but you could dumb things down for dumbass over
Okay,
there.
so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Exactly. Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. The tattoo should be a good identifier.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
God damn it.
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
The white noise blocked my shot.
If Kyoko really, then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond... And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma... Well, if we can't identify the body...
God damn
Then
it!
there's nothing else we can do, right?
I'm pretty sure I shot that white noise.
Kyoko really, then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition, and there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
There you go.
No, that's wrong.
Okay. I should have be careful what I wished for, because now it is
There
getting
was
kind of
one
hard.
clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
You've seen plenty of them!
Stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Ugh.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Yeah, we read something about that, didn't we?
Really?
Fenrir. If you compare the tattoo to the other information we have, the victim's identity should become clear.
I got it!
Mukuro
The Fenrir
Ikosaba.
Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir?
Norse mythology. But of course, we have to go through a hangman's gambit to figure that out because everyone here is too stupid to even know how to tie their own shoes. Except for Makoto and Kyoko. Where's the F? Thank you. That was the easiest
Now
one.
I understand. The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf.
Toko really should have been
Which means
called
that person must have once belonged to Fenrir.
the ultimate masochist.
So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Well, who could it possibly be at
But I
this
mean,
point? Everyone else is
Really,
dead.
the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
No, she was the ultimate soldier.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
She did
So
say
that
that.
means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Well, they're hiding details for a plot
So
twist
you're
later.
saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
That's the question, isn't it?
The Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and
Her
foremost.
information was only half wrong.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Not much
I
of a
have
family left to
officially
stake your name
decided to
on.
completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Unfortunately, based on what we know, there can only be two suspects. It's me and Kyoko.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
Right.
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Yeah, because you were missing and he
Exactly
was
so.
sick in bed. But we know it wasn't Makoto because we followed him. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, duh.
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? When she went to go get the pickaxe.
So what time was the body discovered? 9 o'clock.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Now then, Toko, what time is it?
Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now.
Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock.
Don't sound so happy about that.
But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
That's true.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. until 7:30 a.m. Okay then, it looks like the game has begun. I can't provide an alibi for that period. If I can't, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. Alright. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Time for another non-stop debate. I'll shoot through your words with my bullets of truth. Bang, bang, boom, bang, 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 boom. Alright.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
I do have an objection, but we gotta rewind real quick. Because it's actually the very first thing you can hit.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
Nope.
No, that's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Yeah, because we dumped water on it.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
Nobody said that.
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
She's trying to use
You
logical
really think it
fallacies
wasn't the
to derail
sprinkler?
the argument.
You'd better tell us why!
But it won't work. I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. Yeah, because her dumbass was knocked the fuck out during that point. Okay, so time for a bullet time battle.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! How can you say it was
This should prove it.
Gotcha. Alright, the exploded body analysis.
Just remember what
Just
the body
listen.
was like after the explosion.
Crazy
and
girl.
you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
She's way more
The
than
top half of
unhinged.
the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
Yeah.
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac! I'm so sick of her.
Yeah.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
Nay.
So if
no,
the
no.
sprinklers didn't get the
Hey,
body wet,
oh.
then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Oh, snippity dippity.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Does he
In
know?
which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Ooh, shit. This could be a problem. For you. A problem. What do you do? No, I refuse to believe it. He doesn't want to believe that it was
I'd
him
just
or
like to
her.
say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever.
That's important.
Which is why I can't let that happen.
That's why I'm gonna throw my friend
So
under the
are you
bus.
saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
Well-
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Wait, what?
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
She did say that.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
There's more to it than you think.
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene that was used to cover the body. Could it have been... Yeah, so we're gonna incriminate ourselves?
I got it!
It would have made more sense if the gameplay
You're
shifted
talking
over to
about the
Kyoko,
tarp,
and we
aren't
played
you?
as her now instead. For
You
those
catch on
parts.
quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that.
Kyoko definitely knows more.
Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
She has a pretty good idea what's going on here,
The
but
side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
all I can say is she banks a lot
This
on
proves that the
Makoto's
killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
ultimate luck ability.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? Bro, she's throwing you under the bus. She needs to survive to solve the mystery of the school. No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Alright. The body before the explosion is the bullet we want this time.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, it's wrong.
Wanna try that again?
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya
Nope.
said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Come on, man, you're grasping at straws.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
Well, there was a chicken
I know.
missing.
They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
They got the blood from right there in the garden, which must mean...
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
And that is...
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No, it was on backwards.
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Oopsie doodle.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not good for us.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
The two smartest
I must
characters...
admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
The two smartest characters are going head-to-head now. And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I love her. I don't understand. Alright. A new truth bullet.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Oh.
Don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yeah, it's the one that I had.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it?
We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do.
I don't want it anyway.
So what to do?
Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto?
Huh? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
Because it made me look suspicious.
It's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
I'm being framed, fools. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. This is my second time being framed by a girl I fell for. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. This guy's dead body. Thanks, Kyoko, for the truth bullet.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it!
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, that's wrong.
You are incorrect, my dear boy.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Huh. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see in the Monokuma file.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They
Crazy.
probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Wrap it up. Yep.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Just to complicate things further.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but
This whole trial is a
what's the
setup.
deal with that explosion anyway?
It's a
Why
farce.
did the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
It was rigged with a bomb.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
Don't worry, I will.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
No, you're wasting time.
I might
will
be
tell
dumb,
you.
but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Yep, leave it up to me, the guy that you all suspect.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
Boom, bop, ba-dum, boom, bop,
That
ba-dum,
fragment
bop,
reveals the
ba-dum,
cause of the explosion.
bop, ba-dum, boom, bop, ba-dum, boom, bop, ba-dum, boom, bop.
You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
You
That's
have,
only
probably.
natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Invidioso.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko.
Hold on a second,
Oddly
Byakuya.
silent here.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Time for another debate. This time we have to absorb someone else's words, though.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
There we go.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Yeah, the countless wounds is what killed her, but that's not what we need to move forward with the story. Because that won't be important until later.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's
Fatal injury has yet to be determined.
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
They actually did.
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they
Oh,
were
yeah,
the
good
cause of
point.
death.
If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
No, they do.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
Y'all couldn't possibly be more wrong.
What was the murder weapon? The
It's okay.
Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
I guess that makes sense.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power.
You know too much about this.
I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
I'm sorry, I thought the other side of you was the serial killer.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
What the hell is wrong with you? You know what? Just fucking get it over with.
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Well, we did do a little bit of searching, didn't we? The real murder weapon. Titanium arrows?
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
I have many doubts
sure?
about it.
That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting it because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. There was also bloody duct tape in there.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong! You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Fair enough.
And that's exactly what the killer did.
But this
It's
all
similar
seems too
to Aesop's
convenient.
fable about the bundle of sticks.
Kyoko's too smart to leave that many clues
One
behind.
stick is weak. We put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because
Well-
we have proof, of course.
Yeah.
Don't we, Makoto?
We found a key in her room.
What's the matter?
I don't want to admit to
Surely you
snooping through her
don't
shit.
intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you?
Think
If
things
you
are
cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to
things end bad either way, so
the death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. Yup.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
It was in your room.
Because I found it in your room.
It was... in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
Of course, it could have been planted there.
Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there?
She kind of protected you, I think.
That's what I need to know.
I was just... protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Yeah, that's what I said. Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... which would mean that Kyoko... actually, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
It'd be hard to throw her under the bus if that was the truth,
I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Oh man.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
He does have her room key. What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Gotta do another absorb here.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Alright, time to fast forward and find out.
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong! If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier?
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap? The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? Mukuro. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Well, looks like we have a choice to make. So, the canonical choice here is to let it go and take the fall. And you'll understand why in the next episode. But if we choose to pursue the lie, that will actually lead to an alternate ending. It's considered the bad ending, but it won't be the actual end of the game. And I'm going to do that now because after that bad ending, the game will rewind back to this choice and force us to make the correct choice anyway. So I'm going to make the wrong choice so that you can see the alternate ending real quick. And that'll be where we end this episode. And then in the next episode, we will make the right choice and continue the story the way it's supposed to be. So, alright, here we go. Time for the alternate ending to Danganronpa.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko is definitely lying, and it must be because there's some other deeper truth she wants to keep hidden.
I didn't have the key to my room because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
No, that's wrong.
She has a skeleton key that gets her into every room in the building.
No. Kyoko could have gotten into her room.
She stole it from Monokuma.
You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school. Which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
It's like a janitor's key.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Too late now.
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late, so the trial started late and time ran out! So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you! But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Considering what we're about to see is considered the bad ending, you can already imagine this isn't going to turn out well.
Good job! You got it right! Brilliantly right!
We got it right? Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment!
Is everyone ready? Okay then!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Boy, you just kind of went straight to it this time, huh? No chatter at all. Boy, she actually looks kind of worried for once. Normally she's calm and collected. Yikes. After school lesson. Hey, she's shaking. She's actually nervous. She looks so defeated, too. After all the hard work she put into trying to figure this out, only for this to happen. For the mastermind to set a trap and everyone else to fall for it, and for her to pay the price. Oh, that sucks. Ugh, smush. Well, at least that was a quick death, compared to some of the others. And that's how the class trial of Mukuro Ikosaba came to an end. I still had to wonder whether Kyoko was actually innocent, or... Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. And in the end, it would prove to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder at Hope's Peak ever again. We had obtained peace in exchange for the lives of all the others. Oh, look, they had babies with Hina. Peace, but only inside the school, and it looks like Toko died at some point. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope?
No! This isn't right!
Huh?
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Her claim? Oh, that's right. I have to... Do I expose Kyoko's lie or not? Alright, so yeah, we already know all this. She's not wrong. I have to think about this very carefully. What do I do? Alright, so... So that was the alternate ending to this story. Basically, if Kyoko dies, the mystery never gets solved, and the remaining survivors live out the rest of their time here in the school forever until they all die of old age. And then their kids that they have here end up living out their lives forever, and I can only assume that they continue their lineage through some kind of terrible incestual nonsense. So yeah, not a good ending, basically. They just remain prisoners here and just the rest of their time. That's not, happily ever after? What? No, not really. So, anyways, it's a good thing that's not the canonical ending, but what's interesting to point out is that, remember when Hiro made 3 different predictions, and he said that he gets 2 of 3 right every time, and one of his predictions was that, or was it like he gets 1 of 3 right? Well, one of his predictions was that him and Makoto would end up having kids with the same person, and that's exactly what happened in that alternate ending. But since it's not canonical, it's not a true prediction. However, he did make 2 other predictions that I think are worth remembering, because we will come back to that later. So, but anyways, that'll be the end for this episode. Let me know what you think of this ridiculous class trial, this farce of a trial, and that alternate ending in the comments down below. In the next episode, we'll start off with, following the canonical route. We'll take the heat for Kyoko, throw Makoto under the bus, and see what happens. And that will lead to the true ending eventually. It won't lead to the true ending in the next episode, though, because there's actually still a lot of game left. There's like a whole 1 more class trial, at least, before the ending after this. So, anyways, look forward to all of that. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to click that like button. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. And I will catch you possibly on another day, definitely at another time, and likely in another video. Okay, goodbye.
Danganronpa.